Hi everyone, yes, it's another Chatty Get Ready With Me. I have my wig cap on because I put my psoriasis treatment on a little while ago, so my hair is extra greasy and I wasn't sure if I was going to film or not, so anyway, wig cap. I'm just going to get started because I do have a few things that I want to talk about. So I'm going to use my Smashbox primer oil because I have one face primer right now and I'm trying to make it last as long as possible, and this makeup won't end up on my face for too long. This evening I want to potentially try and film a video or two because I am going away, and this is sort of where all of this is coming from, all the stuff that I want to talk about. I feel guilty about going away because it's like a for fun trip that was planned like 9 months ago. I'm going to see the Lumineers and I'm looking forward to the concert a lot, but I feel guilty about it for a couple of different reasons. The money being a big one, as I'm sure anybody watching this knows about my money issues. I feel kind of safe in these little get ready with me videos because they don't tend to be that well received. Like, not a lot of people watch them, but the people who watch them and comment on them are people I've come to kind of get to know a little bit and people I'm familiar with. So I feel like it's a little bit of a safer space for me to talk about things in. So anyway, this was planned over the summer to go and see this concert. I was in a very different place for a few different reasons at that time, and yeah, I feel a little guilty and I just need to like push that out of my head. It's difficult to do that, of course, because there is that part of me that's like, oh my god, this is not money you should be spending on this, but there's nothing I can do about it at this point because the money has already been spent. So there's that angle to it. The other angle is my family stuff. You know, my father is still in the hospital. He's been there now this time for almost a month. It might actually be a month at this point. It's been a long time, basically, and he's not doing very well. So I also feel like I should be around and I shouldn't be leaving for a couple of days. And I don't know, there's that part of me that worries about going away. And it's like, I know there's not a whole lot that I can do being here, regardless of the trip, right? So that's also frustrating for me because I feel like I'm not doing anything. And I feel like I should be doing something, but yet there's not a whole lot that I can do. And it's definitely very frustrating with that going on with my father. And then some stuff came up recently with my mother, which has been great because it's like, why not? Just throw more things on. Did I really not? For a second, I thought I hadn't brought my brow product out and I was like, you have one job, okay. So yeah, some stuff came up with my mother that is in a similar vein to what's been going on with my father, and not great. I'm very scattered again these days, and I feel like I'm not coping entirely well because I'm not sure what to do in a situation like this. I'm not sure how to behave. I'm not sure how to navigate all of the things that I'm feeling. So it's been difficult. I felt like I was kind of finally getting into a better place and within the last few months, and I felt like things were getting better in my personal life and things were sort of falling into place a little bit, and I was looking forward to being in my own space again and kind of working all that stuff out, and I was truly looking forward to getting back into YouTube and hopefully trying to kind of play catch up a little bit because I do feel guilty and I feel a little disappointed in myself that I kind of stepped back and wasn't able to sort of accomplish much of anything, and it's been disappointing to kind of see some of the comments and stuff that I have received, and it's been disappointing to, I don't know, I feel like my channel is not even just like at this level anymore. I feel like it's really like this, even though I'm doing a lot of the same content I had been doing before. I'm doing more of it. I feel like I'm doing similar content to other people whose channels are growing and are successful, and I am absolutely struggling with, you know, what is the deal with me? Like, why can't I seem to get ahead? And there's been a couple of things that I've been thinking about, and some stuff I've been talking out about, and I wanted to talk a little bit about something. I am going to do the most basic upon basic of eyes. Actually, I'm going to do some of my face makeup first, I think, because it's just the same stuff that I always do. I am going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette. I will talk about that. But one of the things that I've been debating talking about on my channel, and something that I haven't really talked about to anyone, not even like my friends and stuff that I talk to a lot online, I haven't talked about this with them either. It's something that I've been talking about to my best friend, and we've had this kind of dialogue for the last couple of months, I want to say, where she's really encouraged me to talk about this stuff, and she's just been a really good sounding board for me, because I've been very nervous and I've been hesitant because I fear sort of potential backlash or judgment from people, because I know what the internet is like. I know what people have been like to me so far. People have not been kind to me in general. I feel like, you know, the world would be a better place to me in general if I looked conventional, you know, if I had perfect straight teeth, if I had the beautiful Victoria's Secret angel hair, if, you know, my nose was smaller or whatever, you know, I feel like if I just looked more conventional, then people would be nicer to me. That's just sort of my experience and what I've seen from other people, other content creators, and how they're treated, and you know, my own example, how I have been treated. And I'm a little bit of an island these days within the beauty community as a whole. You know, people don't associate with me. Check my comment section on any random day and you probably won't see any other content creators floating around there. You know, the people whose videos I comment on, or people who used to comment on my videos until their channel grew larger than mine. But anyway, the thing that I've been wanting to talk about, which I think it may explain some things, but yet it's the internet, so you never know, and it makes me nervous, which is why, you know, I'm kind of dancing around it here. It's that I am on the spectrum. I have autism spectrum disorder, and I haven't really talked about that with many people, and it's something that I'm still coming to terms with. It's something that I'm still trying to figure out how I can balance, and there's still some stuff that just doesn't make sense to me. You know, there's certain things that I look back on, and when I have been able to get into those headspaces and I've been able to talk out sort of past experiences and past issues that I've had, and a lot more of my life and sort of the previous diagnoses I've had make more sense now, and it all just seems to really line up. I don't want people to think differently about me. You know, I don't want people to, but obviously people are going to, but I don't want it to be an excuse, I guess, but I guess it's an explanation, and it's something that's definitely made sense to me. Certain things that I had never considered, and I was just like, you know, I was always told that I was like that eccentric weirdo, and when I would go off on like my long tangents on sort of my special interest, Fleetwood Mac, and you know, some of those other things that I'm interested in, and it never occurred to me that it was unusual. And other people have brought that up to me, or you know, have talked about that, about how my behavior is kind of odd and how things I do are weird. And it's like, I've clearly been masking for so long, and I've been trying to behave normally for so long, and I'm so tired. I'm so tired of trying to be what I think other people want me to be. It's like, I'm not a high energy, peppy kind of person, and I think sometimes the things I say, like I interpret things weirdly sometimes, and I think that the things I say come off not the way I intend them to. And I think sometimes it's tone, and sometimes it's, I don't know that what I'm saying or the way that I word it is offensive, or you know, somebody might interpret it in a different way, and that's why I get confused, because I will see somebody else write the same thing out or say the same thing I say, or what it appears to be the same thing, but maybe it's, they put it in a different way. I was very nervous to talk about that, and I kind of feel better now that I said this, and this what I feel is a safe space, because again, like I said, my videos don't get very many views these days anyway, so I almost feel like whatever I say here doesn't really go very far. So I do feel like everything will be okay. I'm still working through quite a bit, which is why I didn't want to make this like a big deal, separate video kind of thing, because I don't even know what that would look like. I don't even know if there's a point to that. I hope it makes sense to some people. Like that's the thing when I was talking to my friend, because so Jay sort of has encouraged me a little bit to just kind of be open about it, because maybe it might make sense to some people who might have judged me pretty harshly, just like I've been judged in other aspects of my life, just, you know, in real life and not just online, because like my videos are heavily edited most of the time, and it's like, and sometimes they're scripted because they have to be. I repeat myself a lot and then edit, you know, the right sentence in there, the one that makes sense. And sometimes I do go on those sort of more rambly videos and I try and edit as much as I can, but then sometimes people still seem to see through it. And I think sometimes, especially because I haven't been trying to hide it as much, so I feel like more of the real maskless version of myself has been coming out. And that's also scary, because it's like, clearly that's what, you know, people have been judging me on, and they're like, there's something off with her, there's something, you know, not right, or she's different. And it's like, yeah, I'm not neurotypical, surprise. And it's difficult, because I don't want people to be like, oops, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, I feel bad now. But because it's like, you should have felt bad anyway. You shouldn't be saying some of that stuff about people. You shouldn't be making judgments about people anyway. It does not matter if they are on the spectrum or if they have any other issues. It's just not right to do that. So anyway, a little bit rambly, and I just keep stacking more antique bronze on my eyelid, and I don't know what else to do. I'm really kind of bored with this palette. I want something like darker, I think I'm gonna have to do some Franken shadow stuff here because I need something like Cypress Ember that's not a powdery mess and that has a little bit of a shine to it. So I think I'm gonna take Cypress Ember and mix it with something to make like a smoky, bronzy color. I'm gonna figure something out, and I think that will help me a little bit because I don't find that there's enough deep shades in here, and there's definitely, well, not enough metallics. I just don't like the matte shades either. So I feel like they're going to end up getting used as Franken shadows, and then I will end up falling in love with them because that's definitely what happened when I did my Pan That palette with the MAC Burgundy x9 palette, also with the Mario palette. So I know that's gonna happen for me. But yeah, that was the main thing I wanted to talk about. I'm struggling wanting to stress shop a little bit, and I can't afford it. And I know it's not good for me anyway. Like, I know, like, it wouldn't accomplish anything regardless. Like, even if I had the money to spend, going out and spending a bunch of money on makeup would not end up making me feel any better, because it's not going to make my father better, you know? It's not going to fix any of that. I do feel like the little bit of longing for new products to be able to do some like different sort of content, exploring new products, even just sort of general things like talking about dupes, or wanting to do like duping the vibe sort of different palettes and not having a lot of single shadows. I'm just feeling like I'm kind of limited here. I'm gonna do some lashes. I just put a little bit of glitter in the inner corner, but it's nothing crazy dramatic. I'm gonna put lashes on though. I really just wanted to do something simple, like I said, because I might try and pre-film, and I don't know, I'm one of those people that if I film a couple of videos in one night, I like to like put the different shirt on, put a different lipstick color on. I like to do a little bit of switch up, although I'm sure it's pretty obvious that it's like the same base makeup, but I don't know. There's something about it that just, I've never been able to just do a bunch of pre-filmed videos with the exact same makeup look shirt. Like, I feel like I need to switch it up a little bit just to get into the headspace. I'm gonna need a new lash glue, and I'm really sad. The House of Lashes lash glue is my absolute favorite, and it's like impossible to get in Canada. Maybe when I go away, I'll check and see if there's anywhere there that has it. Sneak a little tube back. It just makes such a difference. I did winged liner the other day, and it was so weird for me. I'm not a winged liner person, but oh, this is, I thought for some reason this was a black, but it's a beigey color. Probably accomplished virtually nothing. But yeah, I haven't bought a lot of new makeup for a very long time. Like, I've bought very minimal makeup over the last year, and then before that, like, I hadn't purchased a whole bunch of things for honestly quite a while. So I feel kind of left out of that as well. Like, I want to talk about makeup, I want to play with makeup, I have, you know, different ideas and stuff I want to do, and I don't have the resources. I miss my beauty room sometimes because I felt like I have really good lighting in there. I miss, you know, like the records on the wall. I feel like I had a really good setup. I feel like that was sort of a good time for me video-wise, like YouTube-wise, but I mean, it was not good for me for everything else, you know? Like, it definitely was the escape. I wish I could have taken it with me when I left. Like, I wish that I still had my little beauty oasis. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for the space I have right now. I'm very grateful that I'm fortunate enough to have a space that I can even, you know, set up in at all, because that was something that I wasn't sure I would be able to do. I still have, you know, quite a bit to work through basically, and I think a lot more has come up to the surface over the last month, with my father being sick and with moving and with that stress and with everything else, and with all the talks with therapists and psychologists, and you know, I still don't have like a regular person because I haven't been able to find someone that really, you know, fits what I need. I'm hopefully going to be able to find that person. My employer is making some improvements and adjustments to the things that are available to people and sort of the costs associated with it as well, which is going to be very beneficial because sometimes those things can get very expensive and then I can't afford it. And that sucks that you have to kind of make that choice. It's like I either have to wait like 18 months or I have to pay so much out of pocket that I cannot afford. And it's a crappy system sometimes, you know. I don't want to dwell too much on that because I know so many other people have it so much worse, but yeah, it's unfortunate sometimes that the resources are not there when you need them, or you know, when they could be there, or you just can't afford them, because that's also the situation. The makeup I said was very, very simple. I think I want to put a headband on, like a wig and a headband, because I haven't done that in a while and I was very inspired by the Dior show. So I'm going to come back, chat for a couple minutes more, and then we'll call it a night. All right, I'm back. I love the headbands so much. I know a lot of people don't like them, complain about them, whatever. I really was inspired by that Dior show with the long hair and the headbands, and the fashion is very much the stuff that I love. So I was very excited to sort of pull out some of my headbands and the long straight wig, and wish I actually had hair like this. Yeah, I said the makeup was going to be very simple, and if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. I'm trying to keep up with the content because I want to. I understand that it may not be comfortable for everybody to watch, so there's that as well. I'm hoping people will stick by me as I try and like navigate all this and figure all this stuff out and deal with what I'm dealing with and just be open about it. You know, I've been trying to be as open as I can be. I've talked about that a couple times, how I wanted to be as open as I can be, talking about the financial situation I'm in and how I can't afford things, talking about the stuff that's going on with my family, talking more about personal stuff. It's difficult to put yourself out there and know that there's going to be a lot of people who will judge and will probably continue to misinterpret things I say and spread lies, and that's difficult. You know, always having that in the back of my head. And you know, I'm hoping I'll be able to kind of truly find my place and that things will stabilize again with the YouTube online stuff. Like I feel kind of lonely because like I don't have the relationships with other creators. It is a little bit lonely missing that part of it, but I'm so grateful for the people who watch and who comment. And trust me, I know your guys' usernames, whatever you go by. I know your little pictures, your icons, and you know, there's a lot of familiar faces and stuff there, and I'm always really happy to chat with people, and that's been one of the greatest things for me with doing YouTube, is chatting with people. And I think that's where I've found people who have sort of common experiences and have common interests and can talk about some of these things with me, and will kind of at least somewhat put up with me talking about some of these things. It's difficult, especially just like the other stuff that I have going on. Sorry, this has turned into another emotional event with Elle. These things sometimes happen, but I am dealing with a lot. One of the things I've been reflecting on has been how I'm so often excluded from things, how I'm forgotten, left behind. You know, I'm that person. I'm, you know, nobody's favorite. I'm not the person who gets included in special shout outs. I come across them sometimes came across a situation on Twitter the other night, or afternoon, wherever it was, and it was, you know, kind of unpleasant. But it was basically, you know, I felt like I had no value so much for doing my makeup. That served a purpose. But you know, my father never forgot me. A lot of the opportunities I've been given in my life, like I have been given many, I've worked my ass off for countless opportunities, and usually it's given to somebody else, you know, like I will get so far and I'm always number two. But the opportunities that I have been given have come from my father, you know, so he will always speak up for me. He's always been on my side. So anyway, I just feel very lonely, and I'm glad I feel like I can still come back here and I can still chat with people, and people have been very kind to me, so thank you. I feel just my little chatty get ready with me group of people. Usually get like, you know, a dozen comments or something from people, and yeah, I look forward to that. All right, clearly I need to end this quickly because I've been trying to end it and it's not working. Okay, so anyway, I'm looking forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thank you for keeping this as a very safe space. Thank you for your never-ending kindness. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching and for hanging out with me, and I hope we get a chance to chat really soon.